Good evening. We'll call this meeting of the Delta Township Board to order. Will the board members and guests please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Gotcha.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Mohica. Trustee Cascarella.
Present.
Trustee Brewer. Present. Trustee Baldwin. Treasurer Fadewa. Clerk Park is present. Supervisor.
Here.
You have quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. A motion to excuse absent members would be in order.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. We have the agenda before us. Any additions or deletions? If not, a motion to approve would be in order. Fonda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Is there support?
Support.
There is support. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. You have a couple important communications in your packet, updates on the water resource recovery facility and the Altium plant. Construction, public comment. Anybody in the audience this evening would like to speak? Seeing no one coming forward, we will continue with the consent agenda. Trustee Cascarella had a question on the minutes, so why don't we pull the minutes and then she'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with that deletion. And is there support?
There is
Support. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on approving the consent agenda?
Trustee Cascarella.
Yes.
Trustee Brewer.
Yes.
Trustee Baldwin. Trustee Mohica. Treasurer Fadewa. Clerk Clark. Yes. Supervisor Butcher.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Now we will take up the minutes from the August 7th meeting. Andrea, what was the issue that you had for that?
Yeah, just a kind of more technical correction in the meeting minutes as board members may recall, I arrived a little late. So I did miss the approval of the consent agenda on there, though, and I think just inadvertently references all of us, the entire board supporting, and just need that correction.
Okay, so with that correction, a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Is there support? There is support. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. New items of business. First item number 9, transmittal of the 2024-2029 capital improvements plan. Planning Commission recommends that the board acknowledge receipt of the improvement plan, and I'd so move. Is there support? There is support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, case number 7-23-10, the special land use permit for a group daycare home. What's the pleasure, Andrea?
I move that the Delta Township Board approve the special land use permit requested for the establishment of a child group care home at 4123 Barton Road, as described in case number 7-23-10 for the following reasons. Of which there are 2 listed, and with the one condition of approval.
Is there support?
Support.
There is support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next up, managers report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and board members. Just a couple project related updates. Our administration building project is getting very close to completion. So clerk's office new window is in with the sliding door on it. And our offices are the carpet's down, almost ready to have people assume their offices. So we're very happy with how that project has gone. So I appreciate all the staff's patience on that. Did attend a meeting today for phase 2 kickoff of the Wharf plant. So as you remember, we had already authorized designing that as part of the overall project up to about 30%. So we still have quite a ways to go yet in construction on phase 1, but starting phase 2 to get that up to 60 and then 90 and 100% on that as well. A couple upcoming items for the board that we'll be bringing up in September. The part-time library union did ratify a tentative agreement yesterday, so we'll have that September 5th for the board's consideration. Also, we'll be bringing the bond authorization resolution for the sheriff's substation. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that because there'll be a big one to authorize selling a $16 million of bonds for that project. That is going pretty well. That project should be going out for bid here publicly very soon. Next week, we'll have our new deputy manager, Aaron LaPere, starting. So we're all excited about that. As I reported to you in an email, we're successful with the Eaton County Parks millage grant project for one of our 4 submissions for the Webster Road Bridge design work for the non-motorized pathway on that bridge for $150,000. So that's about all I have, but happy to take any questions.
Any
Board
questions
members.
for Brian?
I do have a question, Brian. I know the deadline's approaching on the community center grants. Is that something the township was going to be able to apply for, or any updates on that?
I will have to get you an update. I know Marcus and his staff was looking at those and seeing where we could fit something in on that. So we are aware of it, and I know he has attended webinars and learned more about the grant project, but I'm not sure what we have for
Okay.
submissions at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Brian. We move to the committee of the whole discussion, which is on the non-motorized planning process and update process. And I know we're discussing the survey that will be going out, and we have Jacob and the consultant here to lead the discussion today.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Just wanted to give the board a quick update on our non-motorized transportation plan. I know this year in particular, we've had quite a handful of groups and residents coming in and talking about our non-motorized systems throughout the township. So just wanted to give an update on what we are pursuing now with that plan and engaging the public moving forward. And I want to let John kind of take a hold of this right now.
Good evening.
Hi there.
My name is John McCann. I'm with Veers Design Group, and we're landscape architects, and we're helping the township with an update to the non-motorized master plan. And so a large piece of that project includes public outreach and public engagement. And so, we want to make sure that we have a transparent and open process, make sure that we listen to the community, hear what they want. Oh yeah, there it is. And so we want to make sure that, we have safe, accessible, inclusive facilities, and we want to listen as consultants to what the community needs. And so the public engagement part of that project really allows us to obtain that feedback, and then, be able to reconcile that with feedback we get from, the township staff and stakeholders and the focus groups and things like that. So the engagement process that we've targeted includes, can you go to maybe the next couple slides? Thank you. So our engagement process, includes the survey, as you mentioned, which is the main topic to discuss here. Get your feedback on that, but we're also looking at a couple other methods of public engagement. So we're planning to initiate a stakeholder focus group. And so we've reached out to stakeholders that would be interested, obviously, in having input on non-motorized in the township, including agencies such as MDOT, the Eaton County Road Commission, the Eaton County Parks Department, the school district, the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission. Those folks, we're in the process of organizing a meeting with them. And then we're also initiating special interest focus groups as well. So we'll get together with the Friends of the Lansing River Trail, the Tri-County bicycle groups, some running groups, And then we also want to make sure that we cover the accessible piece. And so we're reaching out to like the vision impaired, auditory impaired folks so that we make sure we got all of our bases covered as well. I think we've got those listed on the next slide. We'll also have public input meetings, 2 public input sessions. One kind of just to get input, it'll be like a drop-in meeting, kind of closer to the beginning of the process. And then open house style meeting where they can drop in, provide feedback. We'll be there to chat with them, have some one-on-one conversations, and work on building that trust and building consensus for the plan. And then we'll have a second meeting later in the process once we've got some things on paper to get kind of almost like a plan reveal to get the input of what we've put together. And then we've also talked about doing a community outreach where we would piggyback off of a township event that's already scheduled. An event where you already know people are going to come to that event, and we can set up a table and try to get some feedback as well while we're there. So the idea is to try to get all the bases covered. The survey allows people to provide input kind of on their own time, in the privacy of their own, whatever, their house, in their morning coffee and things like that, and not feel like they have to talk in front of other people or whatever. So it's a more safer place. And we get a lot of good feedback that way because the survey will be set up a lot of multiple choice, a lot of pick boxes, but also a lot of comment boxes so people can type in, their feedback as well.
John,
So
I'm
yes.
sorry.
No,
May I
please feel
ask a
free.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, didn't want to totally interrupt.
No, jump in
you, but
anytime.
Just looking at your special interest focus groups, and I'll channel a little bit of my former colleague on the planning commission, Bob McConnell, and he's always thinking about as we consider our services and things about that. And then across the township, really thinking about those with differing abilities. And I just wonder, I know you have the Council of the Blind there, but I wonder if there's, the AARP lives here in Delta Township, but if there's someone just thinking about those who more of the population that may be aging, and just making sure that our plans are really considering a
Sure.
variety of abilities,
Yep.
including someone intentionally inviting and including someone of that nature.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great
Thank you.
idea.
John,
Fonda.
I was thinking the same thing as you. I was thinking about, there's a group called the Savvy Seniors.
Oh,
So
go.
they're a really great engaged group in our township, and I'm
Okay.
sure they would appreciate an invitation.
And I just say that because I know when our east-west pathway opened up, I just really appreciated how much we saw people that may be wheelchair bound and otherwise limited out there and using it. And I just think those considerations are really helpful. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the survey, so that's kind of, yeah, perfect. So the survey questions, they kind of grouped in different kind of subcategories, I guess. And so we have some demographic based questions, where we're asking folks where they live in the township, so we can kind of see where the feedback is coming from. We ask folks what their household makeup is. Do they have little kids? Do they have college kids? Are they seniors? Do they have school age kids? That kind of thing. Obviously gender, age, and then contact information. We'll ask them if they can be contacted, if they would serve on a focus group and things like that. And then we'll just have an open, comment box that they can put any feedback that they like. The second kind of section would be the questions related to your current facilities. And really, the intent of this survey is to really, or all the public engagement really, is to really focus on Delta Township facilities and really kind of a targeted approach to residents of the township and the facilities specific to the township. So the questions about current use would be things like, how frequently are you using facilities? How are you using them? Are you a bicyclist? Are you a walker? Where are you going? Where would you like to go? Those kind of questions. We'll get into, even water trail questions. Do you have a disability? Do you have a mobility device? If you take the bus, how do you get there? Just kind of questions centered around the existing infrastructure that you have for non-motorized currently. And so we have a lot of questions based on that. I can flip through a couple, points of interest, which parks are you going to? How do you get there? What, are you going to the Saginaw Highway stretch where there's all the businesses and restaurants and things like that? How is the township doing with maintenance of the facilities? What could be what could be different about that? Is it important to you that we have non-motorized facilities? Kind of those base questions. So, and then the third item that we have, or third grouping, I guess, would be then future uses. What would you like to see added? What kind of connections are we missing? Where would you like to go that you can't get to now because there's not a pathway or a sidewalk? We talk about micro connections, do you live in a subdivision and there's like a gap between your subdivision and a major, non-motorized facility? Where are those? Help us understand that. Where would you like to ride your bike? Are you comfortable riding on a minor road, a major highway road? Just kind of those thoughts to get an idea of what we're missing, what could be improved upon. What would it take to get you to ride your bike to school or walk to school, things like that. And then the fourth kind of subgroup would be focused on the Saginaw Highway. I guess the improvement authority, that whole stretch there, and ask questions targeted to that area. And they're kind of listed on here. How comfortable would you be riding your bike along that? What would make you feel more comfortable? How do we get through some of these barriers you have in a township, like the highways and things like that? So yeah, those are the kind of major groups that we've kind of hit on the survey. And I don't know, Jake, if you have anything you want to add to that, but happy to answer questions on that for sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a question, were there definitions provided or descriptions, like, do people know what a shared use path is?
Yes, so we do have definitions listed in there as well for like what a local road is, what a minor road is, what is a micro connection.
Great.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Excellent, thank
Yeah,
you.
we were very purposeful on trying to cater these questions specific to Delta Township and making it as user friendly as possible. Our goal is to get as much input as we can compared to previous years. So we also intend on doing like a marketing campaign. I think Mary's going to help us out with this and creating a QR code that we can put throughout parks or through the various events that we have going on so that all residents can contribute to this survey, trying to get as much data as we can. And this is just the first step in the process for public engagement. And definitely appreciate, and this is one of the reasons we brought this to you today, bringing up, the Savvy and AARP, those groups that we can incorporate into our focus group meeting sessions. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a good point. There'll be a link that you can share, and then there'll also be a QR code for the survey that you can share, social media, website, or post at your parks, and so for convenient.
That's all we had. If anyone had any additional questions.
When is it going out?
Well, if everything's well, we'd like to post the survey live tonight.
Go for it.
Everybody can sign up and take it right away. I don't see any additional questions, so the survey looks good, and we hope to get lots of response from the public. I know there's been a lot of response to the Corridor Improvement Authority survey, so hopefully we'll see the similar interest in the non-motorized survey, and we can get some good feedback from folks.
Yeah, that's the hope. Appreciate your time.
Okay, well, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else anybody has to bring up this evening? Any final public comment? We'll see no further business before us. We are adjourned.